Hey guys, welcome to Boots Magoots. You guys might remember a while ago I did a video showing the custom picks that I made myself. These are made from the most expensive polymer that you can get. It is an Uber material, but again, very, very expensive. But I had gotten frustrated with just not finding a pick that's right for me as far as playing 95% metal, death metal. And if I did find one, it was from some boutique manufacturer where it was a limited run or whatever. So I got frustrated with that. I just wanted to be able to design my own picks and make my own picks. So anyway, in that video, I didn't show any of the making of. I just showed you guys the picks. A lot of you guys reached out on IG and kind of wanted to see the making of. I mentioned in that video that I did have all the footage of me making them, but I wasn't sure if anybody was interested. Well, apparently some people are. So this is that video. So I loaded the design on the computer, and here is the tool path for the initial acrylic test picks. So here is a CNC machine cutting out the picks. I wanted to do this test just to verify the tool path because the actual material is super expensive. So I just did this on acrylic, and that way also I can kind of hold the picks in a physical medium and just test them out and see the viability there. Now the picks are out of the CNC, and here's the initial cut on them. Things are looking good so far. And then here is where I shaped them just so I can play them and test them out and see if I really like the shape or not, or if I want to make any changes. And here's the actual material plate. It is a 4x12 by 1/8 inch sheet. And here is the new tool path with all of the picks nested in there to maximize the amounts I can get out of the material. And then here is the CNC machine cutting out the actual picks. This is always fun to watch. The downside to this material is that it is really, really rough on tools. So constantly having to swap out for fresh bits. And here they are out of the CNC machine, and I just sanded off the rough edges so that way I can drop them in a tool that I made to be able to engrave the back side of them. Here they are being engraved, and I did this just to lessen the complexity of flipping it over on the machine and lining everything up. This way was much simpler just to drop them in here. It's a little tool that holds 3 at a time. And here is the first 3 done, and I'll just swap them out until they're all completed. All right, so all of the machining is done. I have the sigil now on both sides. And the shape is relatively cleaned up. What we're gonna do now is I'm going to go to the belt sander, and I am gonna start just roughly shaping in the tip and get it to more of a point, and then we'll kind of go from there. But so far so good. And then I also already have one of these just quickly shaped up to start using it, just to kind of see how well things are holding up. So far so good. And this sigil really offers real good grip as far as like locking in there. So I'm really happy with that too. And here I am, I'm just working the material, removing chunks of it and save myself some time using the belt sander. Again, this is just a rough in for the shape, and then I'll finesse it from here. All right, so I'm done doing the rough in on the shape, getting the edge on here, and what I do now is I'm just going to take, I like just doing like the little Dremel sanding drum, and I just start to shape this the way I like it, and then I'll add a chamfer around the edges, and that'll be that. And now that I have the shape kind of a little bit closer to the way I want it, you can see how it's starting to come in. I'll just take a piece of flat sandpaper, which I need to get, but anyway, it would be something like this, but not this. And I start to work it on the table, just to make sure that everything is starting to get true on the edge of it. And for this, I'm going to use 400. And another thing I like to do too, I say I like to do, it's kind of like the first time I've been doing this. I'm going to use this to kind of add like a smoother transition between the pointed and the flat part. And then eventually we're going to sand all that and we're going to paint it in and all that. But this is just getting the shape in there. And then obviously we'll polish all of the bevels and stuff. And here I am sanding down the picks, shaping them up. This is super boring. So if you're watching this, then you are definitely a trooper and much appreciated for watching the boring stuff. All right, guys, so they're all done, and I feel like they came out looking pretty good. I mean, all done as far as the shaping and stuff. But yeah, super badass. And what I ended up doing was I finished refining the shape with this 400. And then I kind of knocked that down a bit with this 400 pad. And then I took this kind of like rough buffer and knocked it down and smoothed it out even more. And I'm really happy with the way it turned out. And finally, before I paint them, I'm going to post-machining cure them. And that's a like 9-day process. I have this industrial oven, and basically I'm stepping it up from like 300 for a day to bake out any kind of moisture in the material, because it's hydroscopic, so it's, you know, with me washing it and cleaning it as I go, it's got moisture in there, and I don't want to just throw them in at 500 degrees. So I'm going to bake out the moisture at 300, and then it's a day process for every level of going up to 350 to 400, 450, then to 500, and then ultimately bakes at 500 for like 5 days. So it's a whole process, but it's gonna be worth it. All right, guys, so it's been a bit. It took about a week process to cure them, but they're done out of the oven now. And I just went ahead and used like a abrasive buffer over the top of them. Just because there was some discoloration after, you know, being baked at 500 degrees for 5 days straight. But anyway, now I am painting the sigil with a red enamel. This is just a tester's like stoplight enamel. And for this, all I'm doing is I'm filling this stuff up. And I go pretty heavy with it. And fill in all of the grooves. The cool thing about this paint is, since it's stoplight paint or tail light paint for like model cars or whatever, it's got like a little bit of flake in there that kind of makes it pop a little bit more. But I just go in here and fill up the engraving pretty much like that, quick and easy. And then I just take it and just slide it across here. Kind of drag it across there and get all that stuff in there, and you can kind of see, hopefully, what it looks like. And then once that dries, I will go through and wipe off the residual enamel that's on the pick. But that's it. So here is the end result of the picks. This is the first batch that I did that's shown being made. This is my second batch. The first batch, it's all the same material, but this one I made a sharper point on there. And then it's just a red sigil on here. Then on the second batch, I did a little bit more rounded here. Just because sometimes I like a little bit more rounded tip. And then I did this like red, which is not really popping up too much, but It's like a dark red with like some glitter in there. It makes it pop a lot. Unfortunately, just not really under these lights, but it does in real life. Trust me. Kind of there. Anyway, so that's that one. And then as far as wear, here is one that I have 55 hours on. So this was one of the ones that was a little bit more rounded, but you can see the wear here. And you can see the edge on this side and then the edge on this side. So for those who are curious about how long they last, this has 55 hours of playtime on there. And you can kind of see for yourself how well these things wear. It's pretty incredible. All right, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed this making of the picks video. Uh, I mean, obviously I'm going to be stoked on these because I made them and I made them the way that I wanted to make them. But, you know, hopefully you guys like them too. And moreover, hopefully this inspires like some of you guys to do your own thing too. You know, a lot of times you can just make what you want and not rely on these companies to make you something first. And I like kind of taking that control and you know, doing what I want when I want and making what I want, how many I want. And with these picks, it turned out great. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them and I'll be happy to answer them. Until next time, I will see you guys later.
I believe I have made a significant find in the Kandarian ruins, a volume of ancient Sumerian burial